Good morning, everybody. Paul from Canadian Free Living. I hope you're having an amazing day so far. We're going to go for a walk down Wellington Street here in Parliament Hill, Ottawa, Canada. As you can see, things are pretty quiet so far. I just walked about 4 blocks to get to where we are here on Wellington Street, right beside the National War Memorial. And some would say there is still a heavy police presence, but compared to 2 days ago, I would have to say we have definitely decreased. So it's up to you guys which way you'd like to go for a walk. I'm thinking our option one is we could head down Wellington Street. We've got a pretty good view of all the buildings today, unobstructed. Or I was thinking we could go for a walk down the Ottawa River. There's a pretty nice pathway there that goes in behind the Parliament buildings, and then we'll come back. That loops around and comes out all the way down on the end there on Wellington Street, and then we could walk back to here down Wellington Street. So the choice is yours. Please throw down in the comments which way you'd like to go. Let's see if we can get a vote on to start our walk on the Ottawa River, or would you like to start the walk on Wellington Street? I'm going to come check out the comments there for a couple minutes while we decide which way you guys want to go. Thank you all for watching the stream. I hope you enjoy it. Smash that like button. So far, I see we've got a vote for Wellington. I am not sure if there's a march happening for today or not. It looks definitely pretty quiet around here. For any of you know, they have a bus here that gives a little tour around Ottawa and then jumps into the Ottawa River. I'm actually thinking about taking you guys for a little boat ride later on this evening. Looks like kind of interesting. I've never been on a bus that floats on water. Thank you everybody for the shout outs. Good morning to you all. So far looks like we've got a vote for let's start our walk down Wellington Street. So we'll give you a few more seconds to throw in your 2 cents. Would you like to go down Ottawa Street, which is Wellington Street, Parliament Hill, which is pretty much unobstructed. We can get a good look at the buildings. I would think it's about 20 degrees today. There's a pretty nice breeze. I heard it's about 25 kilometers per hour, which definitely is going to hide the heat today. So that's nice. Well, let's get going down Wellington Street. I'll just give you guys a little bit of a 360 before we head on so you can see exactly where I am for those of you that don't know. We're right by the National War Memorial, Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. And I did label the title thinking we were going to see a lot less police here today, and there is compared to a few days ago, but there still is definitely, you can't basically walk 100 feet without finding yourself a police officer. So we'll just take a little look around where we are. That there is one of the hotels. I forget what the name of that hotel is, but looks obviously to be a very old building. And then here, they just did the changing of the guard at the War Memorial. I could be wrong on, someone was just asking, did James Top go home? I think the answer to that is no. I think uh, I've heard that a lot of people were camped up in Renfrew, and I apologize if that's not pronounced properly, but that is where I think everybody was camping from what I heard. They just did the changing of the guard, so we missed that. We'll see if we can catch it later. And yeah, the last boat ride of the day is at 7 p.m. So keep an eye out for if we end up having a post saying that we're going to do a live stream, because I think that would be kind of fun. Get a look at this place from the Ottawa River, in the river. Or sorry, I guess I should say on the river. So we're just heading down Wellington Street towards Elgin. And as you can see, we still have a few police officers here on duty. It's a beautiful morning today. Incredibly sunny, so unless I'm in the shade, it makes it really hard to view comments. So I apologize if I miss anybody's shout outs. It's not intentional. Nice view of the buildings this morning. The streets are pretty empty. Now, for those of you that think my title of the morning stream would be not accurate due to the amount of police vehicles you have saw so far, there's a huge decrease compared to 2 days ago. But I already have, for about 4 blocks today, I've walked about 4 blocks to get to our starting point and have found about 50 police officers across my travels. This building here is our Prime Minister's office, I've been told. Ironic thing is, if you look at it, it's one of the dirtiest buildings here. Oh, looks like I can actually go on this side of the fence here today without having to get strip searched. So I think we will. This is the first time I've actually been on this side. And I'm exaggerating, they weren't strip searching people. But with the amount that they were searching your bags and your clothes and everything else, it was close enough to a strip search. So now this is the first time I've actually walked on the hill here where we're supposed to be allowed to gather to protest and speak our voice. But I think that was back in the day. Someone was telling me the murals on that fence in front of us were quite interesting. So I think we're going to go take a quick little walk over here towards the building and let's check out what some of these murals are on this construction fence that they've put up. And for anybody asking questions or wishing me a great morning, I will find some shade eventually and read some of the messages and reply. But like I said, we have a beautiful, almost cloudless sky, and the sun glaring off the screen does not enable me to read the messages. Anybody just joining the stream, my name is Paul. Canadian Free Living is my YouTube channel. I hope you enjoy our morning walk here today. I would have to say it's the most peaceful time I've spent here in the last few days so far. I only wish I wasn't surrounded by so many guns, to be honest with you. Well, I've actually not looked at it from this viewpoint before. So like I was saying, this building across the street here, that is where our Prime Minister holds his office when he's in town and not flying around the world. That is the direction that we came from. Let's spin around and watch where we're going. All right, so here's one of the first murals. We're gonna check it out, and I'll read it to you in case we don't spend long enough here. So, a place where Canada comes together. The seat of Canada's democracy is also its symbolic heart. Parliament Hill is where the Canadian public gather to celebrate, grieve, and protest, and to share important experiences and join in events. Canadians and visitors from around the world have special memories tied to the symbolism of beauty of Parliament Hill. National events, as well as more spontaneous gatherings, bring people together. These can be public outpourings of emotion or personal celebrations, public or private, somber or festive. The experiences lived here become part of the story of Parliament Hill. The Sound and Light Show draws crowds of visitors to Parliament Hill on summer nights. Queen Elizabeth II, visiting in 1967 for Canada's centennial celebrations, cuts into a 9-meter tall birthday cake. So I guess there's that mural anyways. Some of you might find some of those words a little contradictory to what's been happening lately. I'm afraid to read this one. Indigenous people in Canada. Let's hear what they say about the Indigenous people. The Canadian Constitution recognizes 3 distinct groups of Indigenous people. More than 1.67 million people in Canada identify as First Nations, Inuit, or Metis. Metis. I have never heard of that before. I'll have to do some research later on that. So I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I apologize. No offense intended. First Nations, comprising about 60% of Canada's Indigenous population. Canada's First Nations people speak nearly 60 languages in more than 90 dialects. Over thousands of years, First Nations peoples created hundreds of distinct nations and governments. Today, more than 600 such governments represent various nations. The Inuit continue to occupy their traditional homelands across their circumpolar regions of Canada, Alaska, Greenland, and Russia. Inuit in Canada live primarily in 51 communities in 4 regions. Inuvialuit settlement region of Northwest Territories, Nunavik in northern Quebec, and Nunavut in Labrador. Inuit in Canada speak Inuktitut, which comprises many regional dialects, including Invialuktan. Wow, guys, I can't pronounce those words. I'm not even going to try. I don't want to be in any insulting, so we'll just give you guys the zoom in on that, and you can read that last paragraph there if it was clear enough. So the Metis were originally the descendants of Indian women and European fur traders in the historic Northwest. By the late 18th century, they had evolved into a distinct Indigenous people and nation with their own culture, language, flag, and way of life. A Metis provisional government led by Louis Riel negotiated the admission of Manitoba as a province into Confederation in 1870. So just a little bit of history on our Indigenous people here in Canada. Not sure how much of that is factual but, and I apologize again for any of the poor pronunciation. I definitely gave it an effort. So there's the big guy's office over there, or potentially in the future, the big lady's office over there, our Prime Minister. Those two big flags were just put up on, I believe it was Thursday night, the two big flags on his building. If you would have came here on Wednesday, you would have had a really, really hard time finding a Canadian flag. They were displayed on the poles. I think they got put up Wednesday night. But I would have thought, being Canada's capital, we should see a lot more flags here every day, not just on special events. Here's a little map over here of Parliament Hill, I believe. And for everybody who caught me mispronouncing the Rideau Canal, I believe I now know how to pronounce it, thanks to one of the viewers for spelling that out to me, so thank you. And you can see the gray path that goes in behind the building. That is one of the walking paths along the Ottawa River that I've done before. It's a very nice walking path. So to be where I am standing right now, 2 days ago, actually yesterday, you had to go through extreme security checkpoints. Everything, all your luggage, bags, purses was taken apart. Cigarette packs, wallets, everything was taken apart to look inside. And they used the metal detector wands to go and check every single area of your body before you could come into this area. Now, I personally think that might have been overkill, but for all I know, they might have had a warning of some kind. So we'll get that they knew about some kind of threat to everybody's safety. So if that's the case, then thanks, guys, for protecting us here. But quite frankly, I feel a lot safer when I'm not surrounded by guns. But that's just because I've grown up not used to being around guns, so they make me nervous. A lot of renovations going on here. Not quite sure how old the buildings are, but I guess it's time to reinforce and repair. That is why I'm told they've put up this wall for now. Oh, and here's a little speech about that. Blending the old with the new, the Heritage Renewal Project draws on both traditional skills and forward-thinking innovation. Many professionals and master tradespeople are combining time-honored craftsmanship and knowledge with new technology to assess, preserve, and modernize the central block. You can certainly see there's a lot more people showing up now, coming for their morning walks. We only have 6 PPS vehicles protecting us at this time. PPS, Parliament Police Service, I believe that stands for. But if any of you were watching the streams from yesterday or the day before, you'll definitely be able to agree that there's a decreased police presence here. But personally, I think we could knock it down a few more notches still. Oh, wow, I didn't even know you could go this way. So let's definitely go over here. This is all virgin territory for me. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the walk. Let's go do some exploring. We'll just do a quick pan so you guys know where I'm at, know where we're heading. We came from all the way over there at the Prime Minister's building, and we're going to head into the back of the Parliament buildings here. We should be able to get a nice view of the Ottawa River. I see an employee here, I believe. I'm going to go ask him what's going on. Good day, sir. Where are we? What are we seeing here?
Yeah, so this here is the Visitors Welcome Center. So we offer guided tours of the House of Commons, which is now in West Block behind us.
That's this one?
Yeah. So they're free guided tours. We unfortunately don't have much availability left today, but you could always book in advance if you're looking to come yourself or anybody else. They're free. Oh yeah, we do have individual English tickets left. So if you were looking to do one yourself, you could.
And so when you say a tour of the buildings, what does that, just what I just did now, or you mean inside the buildings?
Inside the building, yeah. So they're about 40 minutes inside. So you see the public galleries. You go down to the House of Commons floor. You see a lot of what used to be the courtyard of the building is now where the chamber is. And you see that wing over there where the committee rooms are as well.
Just over there.
Yeah.
Okay,
So you
well.
get to see a decent amount of the building.
And then where do you go to look into that or sign up for that?
Yeah, so if you're looking for a ticket for, say, more than one person today, we don't have any left. But if you're looking to book another day, it's visit.parl, so visit.parl.ca.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, no problem.
You have a great day.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So we just got the scoop that we could actually go on a tour inside the buildings. Oh, we've got somebody singing. So cover your ears. Somebody is practicing their right to free speech. I have a feeling we're going to get a beautiful view of the river just coming up. Again, I've never been on this side of the fence. Until now, it was just too heavily guarded to make it worthwhile for me. They would rip apart my backpack, unplug everything, stop the stream, and I wasn't willing to go through that amount of security. Well, there's a view of the building I haven't had before. Have you guys all noticed that tower crane? Interesting facts about tower cranes is number one, I almost took on an apprenticeship to do that job. Number two, you'll notice inside you have to climb up that ladder. So that there is about 13 stories, I believe. I'd have to count them to be sure. And you want to hear something really funny? The gentleman that sits up top there for 12 hours has to do his business urination when he uses a bucket. Let's put it that way. There's no urinal up there, and that bucket apparently he lowers down to the ground to the apprentices who empty it into the restroom. So, a little interesting fact. If you want that job, A, you got to climb all the way to the top, and then B, you have to use a bucket for your bathroom. Good morning. What did you see up there? Anything interesting? All right, well, thank you very much. Have a great day. And there's a nice view of Quebec and the Ottawa River. Let's do a little 360 from this angle. So we're basically in the back of Parliament Hill now. All right, let's go see if we can get a better viewpoint of the Ottawa River. Oh, I can see some people out in kayaks way over on the other side. For everybody just joining the stream, my name is Paul, Canadian Free Living's the YouTube channel. We're just taking a little hike through Parliament Hill area here, discovering some unknown things, sharing with you guys what it looks like here, in case any of you have not been here before. This is a first for me as well. There's a view looking west down I guess it would be up the Ottawa River. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. Sometimes I love when you guys have your comments, and I love it even more when you can make me laugh. I'm just at the stairs that usually go down to the pathway that goes along the river, but it's closed due to construction. I did manage to walk down it a month or two ago, which was a really nice walk. I think I titled that one Final Morning Walk before I headed home. I agree with you. Our species could certainly use natural immunity. Definitely strengthens the species as a whole, but maybe not as an individual. Hopefully, whoever's joining now might come for I'm planning on going for a little ride in the bus today. Probably going to do 7 p.m. tonight. And that bus will take us somehow down to the river here and take us into the river. So I've never taken a bus that can go on the road and in the river before. So maybe that'll be another first I get to share with you guys. Let's keep going. See what else we can discover. I think we've reached our limit here. I believe this building over here is our Supreme Court. We'll get a view from that from the street. It's all, I think, still fenced off though for protection. Against everybody that was planning on coming here this weekend. Beautiful view though. If you guys look on the other side of the river, you'll see Quebec. Quebec is on the right-hand side of the river. Hey, I'm streaming live. Don't make me laugh. I'm just kidding. All right, let's get going. Those ladies were making me giggle. We're just looking at Quebec right now while we head up back to where the buildings are. I don't know, some of me wouldn't mind taking a tour inside the buildings, but just because I love architecture, and I'm assuming inside the buildings is probably as neat as outside the buildings. So How did I get up here? Well, let's go this way anyways. Let's see what's this way. Oops. Let's follow the crowd. Maybe they're seeing something interesting over there. So for anybody that's wondering, it's about 22 degrees where I am right now, 22 degrees Celsius. The wind is blowing around 25 kilometers an hour. Hopefully my microphone's doing its job and you guys aren't getting bombarded with wind noise. Please comment if you are, because I just purchased this microphone to try to reduce wind noise. And I've been told I get 25 more days to return it if it isn't adequate. So we're looking west right now. We're looking up the Ottawa River. On our right is Quebec, on our left is Ontario. That gray building just on our left here in front of us, I thought earlier was the Supreme Court, but I now believe I was wrong. I'm not sure what that building in the center of the camera is. What a beautiful day here in Ottawa today. Let's keep going. We're going to be heading back to Wellington Street at some point in time in front of us here. For everybody noticing, we have some porn advertising in the comments there. I think I might have just got rid of it, I hope. That is not anything to do with me. And we're just going to go ahead and turn off notifications. Just give me a second. Sorry about that. Make sure the stream doesn't get interrupted again. Yeah, I think Sunday would definitely be the time to come here for a nice peaceful walk. It appears so far very quiet. Here comes the PPS. Hopefully I haven't done anything wrong. Nope. Uh-oh. I hope not. I'm not liking his how fast he pulled in here. Oh, I think it's just a bathroom break. I think someone was in an urgent hurry to get to the bathroom. But when I see a vehicle like that pulling up on me like that, I get a little paranoid. As some of you know, I can be a little paranoid at times. Paranoia, it can destroy you or it can save you. So I've had it save me more times than destroy me, so I will continue to be paranoid and have my guard up. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if you guys have heard of Tamara. I think her last name is Tamara. How do you pronounce that? I'm not sure what her last name is. Tamara, is it Leach? Lynch? But anyways, I've heard she has her bail hearing tomorrow morning here just around the corner from my hotel. So once I get that confirmed, we might go over there tomorrow morning and see what we can see going on. We'll see if Tamara gets released again or do they keep her in this time. And for everybody and anybody that wants to hate on me for my pronunciation of the English language, I would like to let you know that math was always my subject, not English, but I certainly do try. All right, so we're almost back to Wellington Street here. I think we'll walk back to where we came up on the hill and then we'll carry on our walk down Wellington Street. I certainly am happy this morning to be able to share this experience with you. I know not everybody's been to Ottawa and has the ability to come for a hike. That is one of the most rewarding things is when I get to help out my fellow humans. For anybody just joined us, we're going for a walk down Wellington Street here on Parliament Hill in Ottawa, Canada. My name is Paul. Canadian Free Living is the YouTube channel. We'll take one last look at our Prime Minister's office building. Apparently, he's held up in that office when nobody here wants to talk to him. That's where he hangs out. Or, sorry, yeah, I did say that right. And then when people are looking to speak to him, apparently he gets the heck out of here or gets COVID. So that would be him over there in that building with those two big flags. And you'll also note, if we go a little bit closer, it's also one of the dirtiest buildings here. How ironic. That would be that building just on the right side of Wellington Street there. We'll do one last pan and let's get out onto Wellington Street and we'll head down towards the Supreme Court of Canada. So as you can see down here, all these entrances up until today, the last few days, have had severe checkpoints in place with about 10 officers at each location with tables set up to inspect all your bags, purses, and wallets, and metal detectors to inspect your body. I even witnessed them pulling babies out of baby carriages and wanding with the metal detector wand the babies. So 5-year-olds spreading their legs, putting their arms straight out and getting wanded with a metal detector. Pretty crazy thing to see, but for all we know, maybe there was some kind of threats that we didn't hear about and it was all for our protection. We really need to watch out for the elderly ladies and the babies. Can certainly intimidate us. So it was a good thing they were getting all checked with metal detectors. And for anybody who doesn't know me, that was sarcasm. I try to be unbiased as much as I can, but sometimes some things are just so darn disgusting that you can't help but get your own opinions in there. So I apologize for that. I'd prefer you'll get your own opinion. Maybe use my lens to help it, but just not my mouth. Pretty sure Wellington is closed off on both ends, so we are okay to walk down the middle of the street. If you're wondering how long it usually takes to walk from one end to the other, it's probably about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes to walk down Wellington Street from where the government buildings start and end. But I'm walking at a snail's pace to try to not give you guys the bobblehead experience. And I'd like to say it's excellent to have everybody's viewpoint in the chat rooms. I love to read from all angles. Everybody has different feelings. Take a little look at some of the architecture here. We're currently on the intersection of O'Connor and Wellington. In case anybody was coming to say hello, that is where you'll find me. I think someone just shout out a thanks, Paul, and you're certainly welcome. I really appreciate the feedback. I love to share with those that might not have the ability to get out here themselves and see what's going on. That is why I picked up a camera to begin with, was to share some experiences that not everybody can have. It is one thing I enjoy to do. Certainly doesn't pay the bills, but it certainly is rewarding to the soul. I see there's some conversation going on between Imperial and the metric system. I spent some time in my life being a machinist and was able to convert from one to the other. If the blueprint was metric, I used metric, and if the blueprint was imperial, I used imperial. An interesting fact about the metric system, I forget when it was designed, but it actually got created apparently from using a drop of water. No matter how you do it, a drop of water is always going to be the same size. And that apparently is how the metric system got started. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere. I believe a drop of water is 1 centimeter. So I'll pick up the pace a little bit. This is where the Freedom March came down 2 days ago, and they turned left here onto Bank Street. I watched somebody was up on that upper part there and got a really nice view of the march. So thanks to them, I was able to watch it from that angle. You would think with all the climate concerns that all these police officers I've seen wouldn't be having their vehicles just sitting there idling, but every vehicle so far, with or without a police officer in it, has been idling. See, normally I don't wait for that little hand over there to tell me to walk, but when I'm streaming, I have started to take on the practice of waiting so that way I don't give these guys a reason to interrupt the stream. Apparently, it's a $35 ticket. I have read. I had to look up the law the other day just for curiosity. When I'm off stream, I just go for the hike. I don't worry. I look left, I look right, and I cross the street. And what I find incredible, and I've noticed it especially in Ottawa, is how many people 100% rely on that hand and that walk signal. When it says walk, they just look down and cross the street. And I find that incredibly dangerous. I've always used that traffic signal for pedestrians as a helpful cautionary symbol. It doesn't actually tell me what to do. It tells me when I should be safe, but you still need to look left and look right. So everybody that relies on that to tell them when they're safe, please use your own judgment. It's just insane to not be looking left and right when you cross the street, regardless if you've got a little hand telling you that it's safe. So we're just coming up on the Supreme Court here. We'll be on our right after this big Parliament building. They've got it all fenced off to make sure any of the legal protesters cannot go there to assemble. Even though if you heard Trudeau's speech the other day in Spain, the right to assemble is one of our rights as Canadians, as long as you do it apparently not where we used to be allowed to do it. So I do get confused with when I hear him say how we have the right to protest, we have the right to assemble, we have the right to free speech, but yet when I come to places like this, I watch people that exercise those rights get squashed, even when they are doing it legally. So we're looking in the direction of the Supreme Court of Canada. We'll head over that way in a moment or two, right after I try to remove these porn advertisements from the chat room. I just wanted to share something that's on the side of what I believe would be church. Yes, I believe it is a church. A little contradicting to what I saw on another sign at another church. Good morning. Canadian Free Living YouTube channel. There you go. So that's a different message than what I received from another church. Another church that had a sign on it saying Sunday's Mass, all vaccinated welcome. So apparently some churches are reminding everybody that God loves everybody, and some others are stating that I guess he only welcomes the vaccinated for safety's sake. I don't even see a sign here telling me when it's safe to cross, so we'll have to just wing it after this police officer goes by, and then we'll get a look at the Supreme Court of Canada just across the street here. So maybe that actually was, we looked at it about a half an hour ago from a different viewpoint. I wasn't sure if it was, but it certainly does look like it. So yeah, we have this officer in the black SUV here about to pass us, so we'll wait for them to pass. Oh, geez, he's on his radio. All right. So here we are on Wellington Street at the Supreme Court of Canada, which is completely fenced off, not allowing anyone to use the property. So let's just take a look at, I don't know if you guys would be able to read this anyway. So Supreme Court of Canada, a pillar of Canadian democracy. We won't go into reading that. Looks kind of long and not very informative. So we get a nice look through the fence here. Not much to see. Well, if you're looking for government buildings, this will be the place to be. Let's take a look at where we've been and where we're going. So we're gonna just turn the camera around a bit. That is where we have come from. And this is where we're going. I think we'll head down to the bridge down here that goes over to Quebec. There's a really nice scenic view from there. Good opportunity as we're going for a walk down here to do some people watching. If any of you guys are into people watching, and we're definitely going to run into a lot of them. And then we've also got all the beautiful architecture of some of these buildings. A lot of construction going on here in Ottawa, basically almost everywhere you look. But to be quite frank, some of the roads here, actually a lot of the roads here, well, I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but they're in pretty nasty condition, especially if you're on a bicycle that doesn't have suspension. By the end of the day, you know, when you're my age, which is basically 50, you know, you start feeling all those bounces on the joints, on the knees, the elbows, the shoulders. So certainly would be nice if they'd spend a little bit more cash on resurfacing the roads and the bike pathways, especially. Somebody was just shouting out that their roads are in worse condition. I can't quite catch your name, but where are you from? Thunder Bay. I enjoyed my visit to your city. I was there about 5 years ago. I found an amazing fish and chip shop that had the best jalapeno tartar sauce that I've ever eaten. It was delicious. I actually had, I think, more jalapeno sauce, tartar sauce than I did fish. It was that good. I don't think you'd feel too many of the bounces with that bicycle. You had some pretty massive fat tires. I bet you they absorb quite a bit of the bumps. I've never rode a bicycle with tires like that, so I'm only guessing. We've got about another 5-minute walk until we get to the bridge with the scenic views I'm promising you. I'll try to pick up the pace too much, but like I said, I don't like to walk too quick because I don't want you to end up with a sore neck from the bobblehead experience. So another viewpoint of basically the parking lot and all kinds of construction going on here at the Supreme Court building. Lots of fences. I don't know about you guys, but about what was it, 2 months ago I was here, and it was a lot more peaceful walk. Um, when every 100 feet you didn't have to run into police officers of one type or another. Ever since Family Day weekend, I've had a different feeling when I look towards our police officers. And actually, that feeling started changing when I was at the Ambassador Bridge in Sarnia just a couple days before Family Day weekend and watched with my own eyes what took place there. Once we get down to the bridge and take a couple of minute break there looking around, then we'll head back up and see what's changed, which obviously will be nothing except for hopefully a few more people and a few less police officers. But honestly, this morning's walk at 8 a.m., what I noticed was the night crew of police officers appears to be a lot less than the day crew. So it looks like the government believes there's more need for police during the day than at night. But obviously, we all know at nighttime is generally, according to my mom, when the riffraff come out of the woodwork. So that is when I would think we would need more police. I'll give it this though. The one thing I do notice about Ottawa compared to some of the other cities I've visited so far is they sure do have a lot of bike paths. So kudos to Ottawa for designating areas on the roads for bike paths. So it definitely helps keep when you're riding a bicycle, keeps you going, right? As compared to being on the sidewalk, getting in the way of the pedestrians, and then being on the road, getting in the way of the motor vehicles. So just down ahead of us and to the right will be the bridge heading over to Quebec. Funny thing I say about the bike path, meanwhile, the last 10 bicycles that have passed are on the sidewalk. And I think that's because the bike paths are so bumpy, like I was explaining earlier. There's a gentleman with a couple flags on his car. Don't see that too often around here. Not near as much as before. Who wants to get signaled out? And that gentleman had the real risky flag on his car, the F Trudeau sign, the F Trudeau flag. Just asking you to get pulled over with that, unfortunately. And I'll tell you an interesting fact about that flag. I met a couple people from out of country in my last few weeks of traveling, and they inquired about that flag, asking, why are people flying a flag like that? Isn't Trudeau like the best thing ever? And I was basically in shock with that question. So apparently, the rest of the world doesn't get the same message that we get from watching YouTube creators or TikTok and all the other different media platforms that aren't sponsored by the government. They are still, regardless of whatever media you're using, apparently still going to be getting screened and showing the world what our government wants to show versus actually just the real truth of whether it's good or bad. So for everybody that was happy with what was it, Bill C-11, I think that was what it's called, where the government is going to be controlling what Google provides us for information. A couple little cute guys down here on the ground. Sorry, guys. I like nature and I like my little critters that are in it. So we're just coming up on the bridge now. I'm not sure if something is going on or not. It looks like maybe part of the road is starting to get blocked off. Someone was asking if they thought there was going to be a march today or whatnot, and certainly could be. I'm just not aware of it. Probably is somewhere. So way across the river, we're looking at Quebec. We can see quite a few of the buildings rocking the Canadian flag on top. Nice to see. Love to see our Canada pride. Oh, we better zoom back out again, otherwise the bouncing from my footsteps gets intensified. For anybody and everybody just joining the stream, my name is Paul. Canadian Free Living is the YouTube channel. I am not able to read the comments right now due to the sun is incredibly bright and blocking visibility on my screen. So I'm not ignoring you, and I look forward to being able to chat with you later on, or when I get to the shade and get a chance to read the comments. Well, if we do end up getting to go into that bus that goes into the river, down near that bridge in the distance there is where we will be going. So that should be fun. Look forward to as long as I get a seat on the bus, so it should be around, I think they said 7:15 was the last bus ride into the river. So I think when we get back, I'm gonna try to book a seat on that bus and take you guys for a ride. We'll have a different viewpoint of the buildings from the river without me having to blow up my dinghy. So that'll be nice. We're almost at the bridge, just coming up ahead. Looks like a lot of canopy buildings down that way. Around here somewhere was where they shot off the fireworks the other day. We have another park area across the street, all fenced off. All right, we're almost at the bridge where we're going to take a quick look up and down the river, and then we'll double back to Parliament Hill and head over to Rideau Canal. Well, with all the fences and signs around here, it's hard to get an unobstructed view. We are at the Portage Bridge. So let's go take a look. Water certainly looks to be moving pretty quick here. The Ottawa River is a fast moving river. It has some pretty unpredictable currents at times. I know that from, oh, look at this guy coming at us. So I was just saying about the currents here in the Ottawa River. I tried kayak school once on the Ottawa River. Boy, well, that was fun, but that was also extremely taxing on the body. To be honest, it really kicked my ass. I came home incredibly sore from that 4 day of kayak school. But I would love to try it again, and I would recommend if any of you want to try it, but I would say do the 3 day like everybody else in my group did, and don't try to do the 5 day unless you're in incredibly great shape. So let's just stop and take a little look at the Parliament buildings from this angle. One more portion of the bridge on the other side here of the Ottawa River. We'll go see what it looks like from that angle. And then I think we're going to try to cross the street somehow, but as you can see, there's a barricade here, so we're either going to have to climb over that or go all the way into Quebec. The last time I was in Quebec, I was 19 years old, so 30 years ago. And it was only supposed to be a couple day stay that turned into a year and a half. So learned a little bit of French, not much, and everything I did learn has basically been forgotten now. I wish I would have practiced it more because I enjoy speaking to our French Canadians, and wish I didn't look as stupid as I do when I try to speak their language. But they appreciate my efforts, so that's all that matters. Not sure at what point when we're crossing this bridge are we in Quebec. I would actually have to say now, and the reason I'm basing that on is some signage we're passing has French first, English second. Oh, looks like we're bringing in some more fencing, like we don't have enough already. All right. Oh, look at this. Beautiful. I don't know if you guys can see the white bubbles, the foam representing how quick the river's moving. And a gentleman down here has definitely got the right idea. Look at that. That looks like fun. Maybe instead of the bus ride, I can see if that guy will give us a ride. It seems like in the chat room today, we're having an extreme discussion about imperial and metric system. And I think we'd probably all vote on the one that we use, that we personally are used to and familiar with. Personally, I swing both ways regarding imperial versus metric. We have here a beautiful view of the Ottawa River with the Parliament buildings in the backdrop, in the background. Not sure how deep the river here is, but definitely looks deep. Deep enough that I'd be wearing a life jacket, I think. The currents here are unpredictable. 1 minute you're going downriver, the next you're going up. Once we get to the other side here, we'll pause for a second, put the camera down, give you guys a view of the river and the Parliament buildings without the bobblehead effect while I stretch out my calves a little bit. It's one thing I've noticed with all this walking is those calves certainly get tight. James Top and his crew and all the marchers with him probably know what I'm talking about. Or maybe they're just in better shape than me, which wouldn't take much to be. Well, I am sure we are now in Quebec. So for everybody that hasn't been to Quebec before, now you can see you have. Here we go. We're almost at the end of the bridge. Pretty long bridge, eh? There's the view down that way. We'll get a better view of that when we cross the river, when we cross the bridge. Good day. Bon matin. I was just reading one of the signs here with I'm going to call it government propaganda on it, to be honest with you. All right. There we go. The wind is blowing you around now, not me. All right, we better get you off of there before the camera ends up in the river. A little too windy today for me to trust that. Oh, we better zoom back out. All right, let's go find a spot to cross this river. Cross this bridge, I mean, on the other side. Not much to see on the other side, to be honest with you, by the looks of it, but there is that massive dam over there. Maybe we can get a view of. I did stream a bicycle ride about a week ago that had a good view of that dam. But so here we are now in Quebec, the province of Quebec. I would attempt to say that in French, but it wouldn't work, so I'm not going to bother. We're going a little bit, we're kicking her down a little bit, increasing our speed to try to get to the end of this little wall here that's stopping me from crossing. And then we'll cross over. There's one of the bus rides, Lady Dive, but that's not the one that goes in the water. Little, that might be an interesting tour as well. I might jump on just for fun. It's just noticing on my right. Can't see it now because there's trees in the way, but there's a couple kayaks and a canoe getting ready to go down into the water. All right, here we are. So you'll notice first thing, the traffic lights over here in Quebec are a little bit different. They've got them horizontal versus Ontario that has them vertical. Nice place to leave your mask right by the button. Thank you everybody for making sure your masks end up in the garbage. Well, I'm not 100% sure if we're good to go or not, but we're going. Okay, we successfully got to the other side. Now let's head back to the hill. I hope you guys don't mind the different view instead of just looking at the buildings, the government buildings, to expand our view a little bit down the street. We are trying to move a little bit faster now since we ended up venturing a little bit further than we thought. So hence why the you're going to get the bobblehead syndrome going up and down, up and down. No, sir, not today. No, sir, not today. Have a good day. Bon matin. Looks like a few people call this area home. I just spoke with a gentleman that was looking for a bottle of water. Unfortunately, I didn't have one to give him, and I didn't even bring any change or anything that offer for him to go buy himself one. I normally carry all my leftover change from when I've spent cash, and I donate it to some of those that look like they could use it more than I. But today we don't have any. Oh, there you go. I don't know if you can see it, but there's some people zip lining across the river right there in front of us. I'm pretty sure they zipped on from that lookout tower right about there in the center of the screen. I actually asked the workers there if I went for a zip line across the river, could I bring my viewers with me? And they said no, in fear I would drop my camera. So I wanted to bring you guys for a zip line ride, but maybe some other time, some other place. So now we are looking up the Ottawa River. We can just make out the dam way ahead there. I'll try to zoom in for you. Just on the other side of that bridge, you can see a little bit of the dam and the water pouring through it. Probably hard to make out, but I promise you it is there. And that's the bottom of the zip line ride there, where those folks just finished their ride across the river. Little view of Parliament buildings looking down the river from this side. There's our gentleman that was in his canoe doing some fishing. Comes have some more zip liners going across. Wind is really strong coming down the river. It's one thing that's nice about this river being so fast is it doesn't stink with pollutants. A lot of the slower moving rivers can get a little stinky. All right, here we go. Back to the hill we go. And a happy belated Canada Day for anybody who didn't get me wishing them one earlier on Canada Day. Hopefully you've enjoyed your long weekend. Spent some time with family and loved ones and friends. Enjoyed some good food. I believe we're back into Ontario now. So that was a nice little visit over to Quebec. Short but sweet. See a helicopter there flying across the skies. Maybe that's Mr. Trudeau coming home from his propaganda tour across the world. I was in my hotel the other morning with having a little breakfast, and unfortunately they had CTV News on with Mr. Trudeau speaking from Spain. I had to ask them to turn it off because it was wrecking my enjoyable breakfast. We're just here at the Mill Street Brew Pub. Yeah, listening to Trudeau tell the world how wonderful our democracy is and how free speech and the freedom to assemble and the freedom to protest is what makes our country so great. Yes, unfortunately, that was making me have a nauseous belly while I was drinking my orange juice and fruit bowl. Oh, look at that. Is that a, wonder if we could use this maybe as a water slide. I tell you what, if we can get 1,000 likes on this stream, we'll go down there on go for a little water slide ride. I'm only kidding. Number one, I highly doubt we're going to get that 1,000 likes in time. And number two, I'm afraid if we did it, that I would actually do it because I do what I say. So let's erase that last 30 seconds of speech. We are not going to try the water slide. But I do appreciate you smashing that like button. Well, here we are in Ottawa. We are coming up to Wellington Street and what is the intersection here? Oh, great. It's going to make me practice my French. Oh, okay, Wellington Street and Portage Bridge. That's not too bad. I can say that one. So we'll take a walk up this side of the road this time. It's one thing I was curious about if we've got all our Ontario provincial police, not all of them, of course, but we've got a lot of crew from the OPP, the Ontario Provincial Police here in Ottawa, then well, who's maintaining safety on the highways? Good morning, sir. That's a nice looking bike you got there. Is that electric? How you like it? Yeah? That's a nice looking bike. We've been considering an electric bicycle lately. I've had my bicycle for about 6 years and I enjoy riding it very much. I rented an electric bicycle the other day to see if I thought it was worth it. And quite frankly, I'm on the fence because A, they're incredibly expensive, and B, they really only kind of seem to help you accelerate. Once the acceleration part's done, well, now you're kind of on your own after a certain point. Maybe it was the type of bicycle I rode, so I will try. I will try it again someday, but you're looking anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 for an electrical bicycle. I don't know if it is worth it for me at this point in time, while I still have functioning legs and a need to burn off excessive calories to fight the fat. And for everybody wondering, normally my go-to coffee place has been Tim Hortons. Well, I've obviously had to try to boycott Tim Hortons due to their segregation in their children's camps, vaccinated children only. And I honestly believe they should be advertising that when they ask for donations for their kids' camps. And then McDonald's, we have, from what I've been told, the same thing. So I've tried using A&W now while I'm away from home and can't make my own coffee. So A&W is my new go-to place for my morning coffee while on the road. I don't actually enjoy it as much as probably the other coffees. It's not bad. My only complaint would be the temperature. I like an extremely hot cup of coffee, and A&W so far does not appear to be that hot. All right, so we are back on the hill. We're coming up to this building with all these tiny little windows. Makes me think of a prison, but I don't think it's a prison. I used to work in that building. Not really sure yet what that building is, what is performed in there. So what do you think? You think there's going to be a lot more people on the hill now that we've been gone for an hour, or is it going to just be, oh, excuse me, the same old Dullville that it was a minute ago? I'm hoping there's a lot more people here enjoying their weekend. I would say spending their tourist dollars, but most places are closed. The Subway beside my hotel, which Subway is one of my go-to places for my vegetable intake. And but the Subway has got hours of 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. Monday to Friday only. So Subway has decided to not cater to the tourists and only cater to the office workers and government workers here on the hill in downtown. And I'm not quite sure how they can afford to pay the bills when they're only going to invite a small fraction of the people into their restaurant. But I guess somehow they do it. I think I wouldn't be surprised if somehow their government subsidize. There is a one restaurant over on Spark Street that we're probably going to get to together, maybe, where I intend to have my lunch. So far, the service there has been excellent, and the food I've been twice. The first time I had a chicken wrap, which was absolutely delicious. It was a two-fisted wrap that I couldn't get my hands around. Absolutely full of fresh vegetables. Incredibly enjoyable. And then the second day, after hearing a few people saying, "Oh, try the meat, the smoked meat, try the smoked meat wrap," or no, not wrap, the smoked meat crepe. Probably pronounced that wrong, so go ahead and laugh at me. Crepe. crap, and it was not so good. Only mainly because inside we had smoked meat, pickles, romaine lettuce, and mustard. And the texture was just there was hardly any texture. It was very squishy. So I didn't enjoy that so much. And because I didn't enjoy it very much, the gentleman invited me back and he would make me something special. Now, hopefully that means he's going to give me some more of those vegetables. But I also noticed they made a crepe full of vegetables and bacon and eggs and hash browns. And honestly, smelling that and looking at it being worked on the grill, I thought it looked, or flat top, it looked amazing. So I think today we might try that. I have no idea how many calories it is, but I'm not too concerned with that because I'm continuously losing weight right now. And we're trying to fight the weight loss actually because I'm below where I should be and where I want to be and keep sinking. So not too worried about having a couple thousand calorie breakfast. Oh, we're looking at the Supreme Court of Canada again from the opposite side of the street. You can see it's all fenced off for their protection, I guess, from us and those of us that would mean to do it harm. Actually, wait a minute. It's not actually. I'm wrong. I apologize. They actually have a bit of the fence open today. So you can go in there for a walk. What we're going to do here, we'll head back to the National War Memorial down Wellington Street and see if we can book ourselves a seat on the I'm going to struggle with this word, amphibious bus that goes from the road into the water. And I think we're going to book a seat for 7:15 p.m. tonight. A nice little evening ride around the town and into the river. Onto the river, onto the river. Hopefully we don't go into the river. Just coming up on the intersection of Kent and Wellington here in Parliament Hill. Of course, as always, we're staying out of trouble, obeying all the laws of our great country. I think we are, anyways. Occasionally, I break the old jaywalking one, but that's hard to always follow that one. I see that we have some super fans in the chat room, so thank you very much for joining the stream. And I applaud everybody that's jumping out on the streets these days with their cameras. Keeps everybody honest. Hey, Ned, thank you very much. I appreciate the shout out. For anybody who would like to come down and say hello, I'm on the intersection of Bank and Wellington. If you got any questions, come on out and see me. I'd love to say hello, shake your hand, give you a hug, if you'd like that. I'm sure there's many of you out there that could use a nice big hug. I know I've had my fill this year more than ever, so it's an amazing thing to be around such good people. For a guy that spent the last 2 years hiding from the Wuhan virus, and I'm speaking about myself because of my being a germaphobe since my early 30s. The last 6 months, I have thrown caution away and just got out here. And I've never felt near as much love. So thank you to everybody that's made me feel welcome and appreciated some of the work that I've been doing this year, because the only reward has been your thanks. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much for that last comment. You got me giggling. Not so easy to do, but that one was funny. I will hear the warning about the federal employees and try to heed out for them, watch out for them as well. Fortunately, we should have nothing to worry about. Currently, Trudeau is still letting us walk around with a camera. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Mr. Trudeau. And I can also thank him for all of his mandates that he's put in place, has let me get introduced to many, many great people that live in this country. It's about the only couple things I think I can thank him for. So far. Hello, Hugh, and thank you for that. I apologize. I realize it got me you as a subscriber, but I do try to keep my opinion to myself. But sometimes when you guys in the chat room get me going, I start spewing out my opinion. And yes, I realize that would probably have me a lot more subscribers, but I'm hoping to roll my lens and like I said before, basically help you guys see what's going on with a unbiased view, but that's getting harder and harder to do all the time. And some have asked, why am I out here doing this? And quite frankly, the answer is number one, I find it rewarding. And I do not mean through monetization. YouTube is sending me emails all the time stating that I haven't set up my AdSense account so they can send me payments, which, obviously is next to nothing anyways. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not currently here to try to earn a living because I would be broke. I am currently here trying to help people see what is going on in this country from another perspective, because all we can do is gather as much information as we can from as many different sources as we can and try to make up our own opinion. Now, you've probably heard earlier that one place I stand firm on is the science behind separating children vaccinated and unvaccinated. I can't find the logic in that. So, Tim Hortons, McDonald's, screw you guys. Until there's science that says that I should worry about either side, you know, where I got to worry about the unvaxxed getting me sick or the vaxxed getting me whatever kudos they have, we got to fight the segregation. What do you think this guy, if he was here today, Mr. Terry Fox, what do you think he would think about participating in segregation of Canadians for their medical status? And like I always try to say to anybody that's vaccinated and wants to participate in segregation, If you're vaccinated, which gives you apparently your protection, then why do you give a shit if I am or not? Excuse my French. I'm getting worked up. You're getting me worked up. So again, if you're vaxxed, why do you care if I am? You've got your protection. So let's not segregate each other, because that is how the government gets stronger, when we're fighting amongst each other. So we are now on the intersection of Metcalfe and Wellington. Here's a little view down Metcalfe. My helmet only works if you wear one too. There you go. Thanks for the giggle. All right, so there you go. There's a view down Metcalfe. This was basically, I think the main strip of the convoy back when that was rolling. Oh, I better zoom out. There we go. I tell you, there's something wrong when you come like I did 4 days ago to visit the capital of your country, and you're worried about having a flag visible, a Canadian flag. Doesn't that tell you that there's something wrong? I was actually paranoid about getting through our checkpoints due to carrying a flag or showing them camera equipment. Now, if that doesn't tell you something's going wrong, then I don't know what will. You're welcome, Hugh. And I apologize if I pronounced your handle wrong. Freedom Friends Canada, thank you very much for the donation. And I really hope you're wrong. I hope this is not the new Hong Kong. I guess only time will tell. Gosh, that's such a scary thought. Serbian, we're used to a tyrant. It's incredible how many people I've spoken to this year that have come to protest because they've come from a country that is controlled by a dictator, and they came here for our freedom. And now they're protesting because what they see is a conversion of what we're supposed to be and what we're projected to the world to be, to what is new here going on. And the conversion to the tyranny or a dictator, like obviously, I honestly really, really, really hope that that is all just in our heads. And fingers crossed that we have enough people standing up and seeing the conversion that our government will try to swing the other way. I did say to someone that I felt the only difference between a democracy and communism is that we get to vote in our dictator. So let me know how you feel about that comment. And I'm not even sure we even do get to vote them in anymore. I'd love to have our voting system streamed live where there is no chance for people to do any wrong word, swindling of the votes, shenanigans. Oh, I'm stuttering on that word this morning. Dreaming in Technicolor. Oops. And thanks, Dee, for the shout out. I appreciate it very much. It is why I'm here, basically. The amount of people that have appreciated my help this year gives me basically some purpose. I could go do the 9 to 5 thing again, and I can get my money, and I can get a nice house, and I can live the life that 90 some percent of us do. But if all of us sit back and say, well, there's nothing we can do, which is what I was there. I said the exact same thing 3 years ago when everyone was saying, oh, why aren't you voting? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? And I would sit there and say, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What's the difference? It's not going to matter. And you know what? I quite frankly sometimes still feel the same way. But I've gotten off the couch, and I hope that a whole lot more of us will join the people that are stepping away from the norm, risking facing things that are totally unforeseen, an unforeseen outcome for actions that are being driven from non greed. And whoever just said about the non voting part, I have actually tried it the last couple times in hopes that it would make a difference. But I honestly do feel that there's something going on there. We got to stream that stuff live. I don't trust anybody, quite frankly. So, and you think I'm going to trust the people in power if I can't even trust the guy beside me? So, yes, let's start streaming our voting process live. It should be done live where we can't cheat. I don't know. Yeah, guy can dream, right? So, here is our double decker bus for a little ride through the city. I think we might try that. We're getting pretty bored, and we'll get up. We're not going to try it right now, but we'll get up top because, as you can see, there's a huge lineup. All the seats are booked. You have to pre-book in advance. We'll go for a little ride around the city, see what we can learn about this town, and yeah, I'll bring you guys with me. But this is the one I'm more interested in. Check this guy out. This one we're going to try to see if we can sign up for our 7:15 tonight bus ride around the city and into the river. So there's one that goes into the river. Amphibibus. So let's go see how long the line is to book a seat. And I don't know if I brought my a way to pay for it. So let me just check that. Yeah, I really like that question someone just asked about, well, who do we vote for? And that's a very interesting question because the people we'd want to vote for probably by the looks of the numbers would have absolutely no chance of winning. So then that prevents some of us from voting. So let's go see if we can book a seat for tonight. Hello. I was wondering if I could book a seat for tonight. 7, I think you said was your last one. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to face you at the crowd for a second. We're going to book a seat and pay for a seat for 7:10. And that's on the amphibibus, right? How do I pronounce that? Amphibus? Okay, there we go. Learning how to speak. Paul. From Canadian Free Living YouTube channel. And I'm bringing them with me, so that's not a problem, right? Okay, great.
Alrighty, so you're good to go. All you have to say is call to get on the bus.
Fantastic. And bring my receipt?
Yep. And I'll see you at 6:55 to get on the 710.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a wonderful day. All right, guys. So we got our seat for 7:10. So if you want to come with me, then if you're available, we're gonna go for a ride in the river at 7:10 tonight on this amphi bus. Hopefully we don't sink. No, everything's free here for you guys. We're working for smashing that like button and the occasional thank you. So let's cross the street here when, let's get going now. So technically, once the clock starts ticking, you're not supposed to cross the street. From what I read in our Canadian law yesterday, but we'll risk a $35 ticket. I can't imagine any officer, unless they just want to shut down the stream, is going to want to do the paperwork for a $35 ticket. And everybody that wants to come, like I said, tonight, 7:10, we're going to go for a ride on the amphibus. I'm going to try to be here super early so we can get the best seat right at the front behind the captain. And we'll bring our life jacket in case it sinks. But that bus there, the first one, is the one we're going to go on, 7:10. So we'll probably start that stream around 6:30. So here we are at the National War Memorial, which most of you are very well aware of now, thanks to James Top and his crew marching across the country. We're basically in a cloudless sky today, making it near impossible to read messages unless I'm in the shade. So for anybody shooting out a message, I apologize. I'm not ignoring you. I just can't even see where I'm pointing the camera right now. We just have to hope that we've got something in view. We missed the changing of the guard this morning. I think we might go over here and ask the military police officer how often that happens. Hello, officer. How often do they change the guard? Every hour on there? Okay, thank you. And for some reason, I thought I spoke to you before and you mentioned it was Monday to Friday. Is it 7 days a week? Oh, okay. I must have just misheard. I must have misheard because I could have, for some reason, I thought 9 to 5, which made sense because uh, that's office hours, I guess. But so it's 7 days a week. No worries. Nobody's perfect. Cheers. Thank you. So there we go. I guess it's 7 days a week on the hour, every hour, from 9 to 5. The changing of the guard, protecting the National War Memorial here from. Actually, I can't tell you from who. I did ask her that last time. That's probably why she remembers me. I asked her, who are these guys, the sentries, protecting the National War Memorial from? And then I asked her who is. She mentioned that she's protecting them, and I asked her the same question. Well, who are you protecting them from? And she had no answer except for a giggle. So I guess it's just basically from anybody that's gonna potentially put chalk or graffiti but it's definitely a tourist spot. All right, let's go take a look down the Rideau Canal. And thank you very much for our friendly stream viewer that taught me how to say that properly, so people will start laughing at me or saying negative comments regarding my pronunciation. Always willing to learn and be educated. That's what separates some of us from others. I hope there will never be a day that I'm not willing to learn something new. I remember early in my 20s meeting some older machinists that weren't willing to learn anything from a young machinist. And yet I had so much I could have taught them. So, for everybody that thinks they know everything, please give your head a severe shake. Severe shake, because there's always something new to learn. All right, let's go look down the Rideau Canal and see if any rich people are heading up the canal. And I guess it's not just the rich, because I've been told you can actually take your canoe up the canal and up the locks. And I asked them if I could take my dinghy, but they said no, my rubber dinghy. Oops, sorry about that. I thought it might be a fun thing to do, go up the locks in a dinghy, bring you guys with me. But they've said no, I have to be in a kayak, or a canoe is the smallest one they'll take. So here we are. I believe they said these are, how old are these? 100 and, I think they said 1898 these locks were built in. So it looks like nobody's using them right now. Incredible wind coming at us right now, so hopefully that's not deafening you guys. I did purchase this microphone a couple days ago to try to reduce wind noise, so hopefully it's working. Let's go find ourselves a shady spot here, and we'll take a vote on where to go next. And for you that vote I jump into the canal, well, you better smash that like button a whole lot of times before you're going to get me jumping in. Nice little view of the Parliament building from this side. I don't know if we're going to find shade though. Well, here's a tiny bit. I think it's Ned. Ned, I just read your comment about not wanting to see my dinghy, so thank you very much for the comment and giving me a giggle. And for anybody who doesn't know, a dinghy is a rubber boat, a small rubber boat, not my tallywhacker. Well, let's go down here and take a look at the river from this viewpoint, and then we'll maybe head downtown, see what's going on, if anything. Good day. Thank you. So as you can see, the locks are filling back up with water there. I think there's either a boat coming up or going down. It's down here near the end, so we'll go take a look. It apparently takes an hour and a half to get from the bottom to the top of these 7 locks, and it's all done manually for those of you that are not familiar. It's a crew of about 8 people that operate the lock, and they haven't changed it. And apparently, I forget what year she said, but they had to fight to get to a little. There's a little yellow. I don't know if you can see it here on the camera, but there's a little tiny yellow rope stopping anybody from going for a unintended swim. And the staff members here were telling me that they took a long time for them to fight with the city to even get to put that little yellow rope up due to the significance of the heritage of the canal. And I pointed out to her, with how safety orientated our government is, I was shocked that during the winter when they clean the canal, that they have no water in it, which makes it have a 50-foot drop with no ladder to get out. And with a government like ours so concerned with our safety, I found that pretty shocking. So maybe in the winter again, next year, I'll come back and I'll show you how dangerous it is walking beside the locks here. I could only imagine, when dogs or kids get a little too much energy and start clowning around, and then all of a sudden one accidentally falls over. And like I said, I didn't notice any ladders. Actually, now I can see one right now. So I didn't notice the ladders when I was here, and I would hate to fall down there. But let's get going. Let's go downtown, see what's up. And then I'm not sure if I should bring you for breakfast or not. I guess you guys would just be sitting there, people watching. So you'll have to let me know if you would like to do that while I enjoy my lunch. I guess it would be, I already had breakfast. Over on Spark Street, I believe it's called, they have quite a few restaurants that are still catering to the tourists. And like I was saying earlier, I do enjoy the customer service at the one. It's usually customer service over the quality food that gets me coming back. A business that's willing to do whatever it takes to keep you happy. Now that's my type of business. Maybe let's not profit today, but let's keep a customer coming back and again and again. Now that's the right business model versus the ones that couldn't care less. Just grab your cake and run. So there's a view of the War Memorial, top of it from here. I just noticed stairways maybe. Not sure. Right up ahead of us here, there's a section I haven't been into before. So they say curiosity kills the cat, but let's go in here and see what's up. What is this? This might just be stairs going downstairs. I think it's smelling a little fishy. Oh, was that? No, I thought I just noticed a big fish in the canal. All right, so again, I'm not sure where we're going to end up here. I think we're going to end up down at the canal. I haven't been down this side. So let's go explore. All right, doesn't look like there's missing much down here. And it looks like we're going to be on the wrong side of the canal. We did find a bicycle rental shop here. We didn't know that was here. So if you're going to come here, there's a bicycle rental shop here underneath the bridge. Looks like across there, there's another some type of tourist attraction boat ride. Oh, I think that's the ride that goes up and down the Rideau Canal. That might be another fun one for us to do. Peaceful, anyways. I didn't watch that one. I watched it. It goes up and down the canal here. I don't think it'll be exciting as going inside a bus that. Well, I think we're gonna have to double back the way we just came because otherwise we have to go for a super long hike down that canal until we get to cross over. Actually, you know what? I think I see somewhere where we can go. Let's go this way. So here's a little 360, I guess, from where we are. We're right down at the bottom here beside the canal. Looking up at the buildings, not much to see, I guess. A couple boats here coming up. That's a museum across the canal there. Let's see if we can see any life in the water. Well, not much except for these ducks cleaning themselves. I don't see any fish. Lots of plant life, but unfortunately, again, it doesn't stink, so that's always nice. It is a really pretty place along the canal here to go for a bike ride or a walk if you've got the energy for that. I'm more of a bicycle kind of guy. I can get a lot more distance and it's smoother. I've had knee surgery on both knees, so walking isn't exactly the best for me. And I guess I'll just tell you for the funny thing on the knee surgery. So I went in to have a meniscus repair on my right knee. And when I woke up after surgery, the nurse came running over and said, "Oh, I'm sure you have questions. The doctor will be here as soon as possible. He just wants you to, you know, um, not be so high from the drugs before he talks to you." And I go, "Okay, well, that was kind of weird." And a few minutes later, as the drugs started wearing off, I started feeling something, but It wasn't on my right knee. I was feeling something on my left knee. And my right knee was the one that had the problem. So I removed the blankets and I had all bandages on my left knee. And my right knee, where the doctor signed his name originally, was untouched. So, yes, that's right. They did a meniscus repair on the wrong knee. And that's why I've had surgery on both knees. So, now, lesson to be learned on that is if you ever have to go into surgery for a limb, I always suggest you use some kind of marker and put it on the one that they're not supposed to work on and say, do not touch this leg or do not touch this arm, just to make sure that surgery happens on the part of the body you were hoping it did. All right, we're heading towards Wellington Street. We got a beautiful breeze hitting us right in the face. It feels fantastic. We'll head downtown for a minute, and it's definitely usually a lot more populated down there. All right, I think we're good to go across the street here. We're on the intersection of Colonel By Drive and Rideau. And again, if anybody would like to educate me on my pronunciation, you're welcome to. I think we've found a few more people. As far as I've found each and every time I've walked down here, all I have found is stores. So I don't think there's too much for us to really see down this way besides ways to spend your money. So I think we all have enough of that already. So let's head back to the hill. I think we're going to show you Spark Street a little bit, where they have a few places still willing to stay open on the weekends for tourist dollars. This intersection here has definitely seen a lot of activity during the protests. All right, we're good to go. gander down there where some people are enjoying a bite to eat. I have a feeling that the price tag of that restaurant is going to be pretty high for a cup of tea. I'm going to take a 2-minute sit until the government tells us it's safe to cross the street. We're on the intersection of Mackenzie and Rideau. Just coming up to, this is the hotel that during the protests that all the police officers were shacked up at, getting steak and lobster from what I was told. This was their headquarters at this, this is one of the more expensive hotels down here. I think this one was $330 a night. Compared to the hotel I'm in, that's $250 a night. So considerably more expensive. And like I said, for the officers, the restaurant in here, I'm sure they enjoyed on our tax dollars. Another look just down that way for any of you that missed it a moment ago. There's the canal and the Ottawa River. We're going to head over to Spark Street and find ourselves some lunch. Here's our Prime Minister's office over here on the left. Here's our bylaw officers here in front of us, getting ready to remove any vehicles that are illegally parked. And now our town of Ottawa has accommodated a few tow truck services that used to have their own name on their trucks, but now they've removed their name and put OPS. So now they've got dedicated trucks on standby. I would have to assume on a weekend like this, there's about 10 of these vehicles all ready to go on standby. You can see his name used to be Canadian Towing Service, but now they've converted to something else. OPS, Ottawa Police Service. So I'm not exactly sure what our government pays to have 10 tow trucks on standby. 24/7. Oh, I can hear the changing of the guard in the distance. Might have been fun for us to witness that. Don't know if I can get over in time. A lot of people are interested in going for the tour that we will be going on tonight. At 7:10, so we'll probably start streaming that around 6:30. We'll get ourselves in line so we can get the best seat for the best view. So now I'm pretty sure we are on Spark Street. So it's actually not a street per se, it's just for pedestrians. I would hope that a lot of us will definitely take in news from all different sources so we can determine for ourselves what is BS and what is fact. I understand that these days that is getting harder and harder to do. We are now being blessed from music from Thomas Braun. Unfortunately, I didn't bring, sorry, sir, didn't bring any cash with me to make a donation, so that sucks. I always enjoy some street music. And always enjoy contributing to those that are willing to work for their money. That man will sit here all day, and hopefully some people will throw some money his way for the pleasure that he has provided our ears. If any of you are bored and want to come for a little bike ride with me, we can rent this little double here. You can hold the camera. I'll drive you around while you stream for us. Inside retrorides.ca, escape tours and rentals. You can find bicycle rentals, you can find a cafe, and you can find a bike repair shop. I actually dropped off my bike here to get worked on when I arrived. And here's a must try for you when you're here. This is not a sponsored ad, but this establishment here called, oh man, I hate trying to pronounce some stuff sometimes. So I'm just going to let you read it. Some Crepiere Rim. How's that? That's probably terrible. Anyways, try this place out. They have amazing crepes and gelato. Definitely worth stopping in. We're just coming on Metcalf right now. We're going to head up towards Wellington, do a quick pan around, see what's going on. And then I'm going to bring you into that crepe restaurant. And if they don't have, they've always got a massive lineup. So, and you can always tell somewhere that serves good food by their lineup. So here's the security gate to get into the Prime Minister's office. Some pretty heavy duty metal fencing. We have a little camera. Hail Trudeau! A little shout out to our Prime Minister. All right. All right, let's go see if we can get some food. I am getting hungry from all this walking and talking. I wouldn't mind shutting up for a bit. Hopefully our friend at the crepe restaurant is working, so maybe we can. Well, I'm not sure if it's against the bylaws or not, but I was actually hoping to say hello to that beautiful lady there, but I might get arrested. Uh-oh, sounds like we have an emergency. Man, that guy's sausage stand smells fantastic. So here is the gelato. Yeah, the bylaws were shutting everything down during Canada Day. I watched the one lady get shut down for handing out flags to children. She didn't have a permit to do that. So here's one of our trusted workers here. Hopefully he doesn't mind being on TV while we try to promote his restaurant and get us a free cup of coffee or something. I'm just kidding. Looks like oh, comes our guy. Good day, sir. I'm trying to bring you some customers today. Free advertising. So, guys, just bear with me for a few minutes while we get ourselves a little something to eat and drink. I'm thinking I'm going to go for a superfood latte made from real fruit, made from real pure plant-based ingredients, 100% natural, gluten-free, no preservatives, no flavoring, no colors. I think we'll go with the beetroot latte. Sounds healthy. And you can see he's got some fresh bananas and strawberries there, getting all chopped up and ready to be served. Apparently, they would prefer me not being here showing their restaurant, so I guess we'll head outside. He waved me a little finger, so that's why I'm going outside. Yeah, no worries. That's why we're leaving. As much vegetables breakfast as you can. Lots of vegetables. Yes, please. So for reasons I don't know, I guess he doesn't want to get in trouble with his. But we're gonna get outside and wait out here. Oh, I forgot to tell him about my beetroot juice or my beetroot latte. So let's let him know that as well. Excuse me, sir. Could I also get a beetroot latte? Thank you. Thank you. All right. So we're on Spark Street. We're just waiting for our lunch to be served. I'll set up the camera in a hopefully in a fashion where you guys can do some people watching. And obviously, if this is too boring for you, I understand, and I can certainly shut down the stream for lunchtime. I would agree with the last comment that our country is definitely going in a direction that I'm not a big fan of. And unfortunately, it's not just ours. It appears to be all NATO countries are heading in this direction. Correct me if I'm wrong. Always open to being educated. Oops. And for all the locals who were disrupted by the convoy protest, I see there's a few of you here in the stream, and I do understand your viewpoint. I can remember in southern Ontario when the natives, the Indigenous people were protesting and blocking roads, and I had a similar opinion. Um, I'm not allowed to block the road. If I go anywhere in this country and park my vehicle blocking a roadway, I will be arrested and my vehicle will be removed. So I do understand your viewpoint. I only wish that the government would have realized or recognized that, hey, listen, look how many people are willing to jeopardize their future and careers. Maybe I should go talk to them and find out what is going wrong. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. So whether it was a just or not just protest here in Ottawa for the few months there is not my place to say because I'm just way too ignorant of a human to weigh in a final decision on that. But I definitely can understand and relate to the fact that if you have thousands of people willing to jeopardize their futures and their livelihoods, then obviously something must be going wrong. And it would be a great time for the government to maybe listen and see if they can make improvements in a true democracy. Isn't that how things work? Sorry, while I bounce you around for a second, see if you can get you a little higher than the fence. And you can take all these chairs, sir. Sorry, I took the. Oh, you're welcome. So everybody just joining the stream, my name is Paul. Canadian Free Living is my YouTube channel. We're here in Parliament Hill, Ottawa, Canada. We're waiting for a crepe to be served from this restaurant that we're here at. We're going to get some go-go juice, so we'll have some more energy. I assume we'll stream for a little bit longer, and then we'll have to take an afternoon break. We'll be streaming again tonight as we take a ride on the Amphibus, which will be a little tour of the city, and into the river we go. I mean, wait a minute, I correct myself again. Onto the river. We're not going in, I hope. We're going to go onto the river and go for a float. So join us tonight, probably around 6:30. If you'd like to go for a ride on the Ottawa River on a bus. Admission is free. For you. Oh gosh, that last comment there about Trudeau being until 2025 at least. What an upsetting thing to hear. But the only positive thing, I guess, is there's a whole lot of new parties that are joining the game, and hopefully they'll be able to gain traction and stand for some of the things that a lot of us do stand for and don't take for granted, which a lot of us that are sitting home on the couch do take for granted. The freedoms that we have in this country were originally, I would guess, taken from the Indigenous people 500 years ago so that we could enjoy it today the way we do. And if you think it's always going to be that way, you're absolutely wrong. I've already heard Trudeau is working with the Netherlands, I believe it was, or Norway, one or the other, on facial recognition so they can start having cameras everywhere to keep an eye on who's going where and when. I've also heard that over in Alberta, that basically everywhere there has speed cameras that send you a ticket in the mail. So if you're looking forward to that as well, keep on voting for your Liberal government. And then we will be able to have speed traps basically everywhere. So that way we can never go more than 9 kilometers above the speed limit without getting ourselves a ticket sent in the mail. I am not looking forward to those days. I've already noticed, I think in London, Ontario, they have a couple of speed cameras already in place in the school zones to start getting us used to the idea of speed cameras everywhere. So a country that has the government with cameras monitoring us everywhere doesn't really seem like the free country I grew up in, where we have to go home when the street lights come on. And anybody curious about myself being a liberal or a conservative or any of the others, well, I'll tell you quite frankly, I think it's all just a bunch of bullshit and a theatrical experience to keep you all voting for one side or the other, keep us separated. As because if we all united under one party, well, then how would either of the theaters be able to convince us No, what do you need?
Take a little bit off this side, so if I can request you to, I don't know, move the table. I can get that table.
No, why don't you take this one?
Are you sure?
Why not?
Thank you.
Let's let me move for a second. We're gonna switch tables so some people can have a little bit more room. No problem. Hey, no problem. You're welcome. Thank you, sir. Hey, excuse me, sir. Yesterday, I noticed you making a massive breakfast with eggs, bacon, hash browns. Give me what you had then, please. What? And do you have any spice? All right. Sorry, guys, just getting in my order here. I asked him to make me a pretty big breakfast, but he's pretty swamped right now, so uh, he's asking I order something a little easier. So no problem. I'm willing to comply. I think the reason here, I'll throw my 2 cents in just for fun. The reason why one person would support one party over the other is because the propaganda was more what suited them and their personal lifestyles. Just like when I watched one of the politicians speak at one of the events a couple weeks ago, and I listened to him basically telling the crowd exactly what they wanted to hear. And I bet you if you were at another speech of his with a different kind of crowd, he'd be telling that crowd exactly what they wanted to hear. So that's politicians at its best. No, I'm glad to see that we can all come together and agree on everything in the chat room, and it appears like we're being somewhat friendly today with each other, even if we have different viewpoints. As you can tell, it's very breezy today. There, I see people in the chat room are looking for some reasons to vote Liberal. Let's see if we can list some off. How about more division amongst the people? There would be a good reason. Climate mandates. There'll be another good reason. Locking us up, locking up the minions in our houses while we wait for the climate to repair itself. Oh, another great reason would be more security cameras everywhere with facial recognition, so we could be a little bit more safe. Oh, the speed cameras. I'm a big fan. Let's get those speed cameras everywhere so we don't have to have police letting us know when we're speeding or not. We can just put cameras there. It's a lot cheaper. I guess I'm running out of reasons. Oh, another great reason is the control over the internet and what we get to see on the internet. Another fantastic reason to vote Liberal. I really prefer when I type something in that I have to search for about 50 different pages till I actually find what I was looking for. Go ahead onto YouTube or Google and type in Freedom Convoy 2022. And I think the first, basically, if you do it by upload date, then most of it will be CBC, NBC, CTV, all the government supported channels. And you actually have to, if you want to actually see some real footage of what went on during the convoy, then you have to look at, change it from upload date to popularity. And that will show you videos that people have hit the like, smash that like button on. And then you get some more of things of what's going on. And I can see that we have obviously some, I would have to assume, Ottawa citizens here that were obviously unhappy with the protests that happened back February, March, and I think into April. And you really have to wonder the desperation of people when they're willing to, in the middle of the winter, sit there on a roadway to try to get their government to see their point of view. How many people lost their jobs, how many people lost their lives, all in part of our experiment. So I've met, I can't tell you how many people that have lost their children within 24 hours of getting an experimental jab. And I can't tell you how many people that have lost good, hardworking jobs that they used to feed their families that also were out protesting. So I understand, the people that weren't affected, um, similar to myself, by all the government's mandates that will just sit at home and criticize. But in reality, if you can't show some respect for people that were willing to step out from the norm and face the fear of a future of unknown consequences just to try to convince their government to take another look at another opinion, Oh, I found another reason to vote Liberal, to keep us ignorant, not educate us on what's really happening. Ignorance is bliss. Yes, that is correct. We get to vote our dictator here in this country. And then we follow along with whatever they say. And that is what a free country is. These days, anyways. So, guys, I need some education. What is a troll bot or whatever we're calling bots? Explain that to me because I'm ignorant. Oh, my man's bringing me some food today. Oh, no, maybe he's not. Oh, yes, he is. What about that beetroot?
Just give me a little bit of time, boss. I had a rush. I'm trying to serve you before I serve it.
Thank you, sir. All right, guys, check this out. Let's see what this thing looks like. This is a special made crepe from our gentleman here at the store. We requested lots of vegetables. Let's see what we got inside here. We'll do a Chef Ramsay and pull it apart a bit. I'm seeing some green pepper, some chicken, some onions, some orange pepper, yellow orange pepper, mushroom. All right, now that I've made you all hungry, I'm gonna get into it. Oh, okay, I see. I'm just reading. You guys educate me on what a bot is. Well, just goes to show my ignorance, eh? I never even knew what a bot was. All right, well, like, how do I cut this without shaking the camera all over the place? Oops, sorry. I'll get the microphone off my head so you don't have to listen to me chew.
little correction for the person that said it took 5 days to squash it. He actually did it in 1 day. Is that for me, sir? Oh, fantastic. Thank you very much. Well, it appears, according to my battery level, you guys only have a few more minutes to decide who's a bot and who's not a bot. And then we're going to have to discontinue our stream. Hopefully we get to finish my lunch and take you for a couple more minute walk up to the hill. Hey, thank you, Lane Canadian. I appreciate the shout out. You're awesome. Cheers, thank you, and you're welcome. It was my pleasure. Hopefully you all have enjoyed the wonderful look at our Parliament Hill, our capital here in Canada. Stay tuned. Tonight we're going to go for a little boat ride. Guys, if you visit this restaurant that I just went to, it's absolutely delicious. I ask you order. You should ask the guy to give him his preferred crepe, because this roasted chicken with roasted vegetables with a little bit of spice is absolutely delicious. Ten out of 10. Why do you think it was the lowest vote voter turnout in history. What makes you think that? Why did people decide not to vote? I would say it's because of the lack of the faith that it's even going to do something. How can you keep people honest when it's done behind closed doors? Well, you sitting at the front. There we go. All right, well, that does it. As you can tell, we just went for a little bit of ride there. So I'm going to wish you all a amazing Sunday. I hope your afternoon is fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing you tonight at 6:30. We will go for a stream. We're going to go on the bus that's going to take us down the road and then into the river. So everybody have a great day, and I thank you for watching the stream and participating in the conversation. Hopefully anybody wasn't too abrasive out there. Play safe and stay out of trouble. Bye for now.